So, let's dive into this really fascinating personal experiment. Imagine living two completely different lives for 30 days, just by changing your morning routine. It's a real showdown, the classic chaotic American sprint versus the calm, intentional Japanese ritual. And let me tell you, the results are not what you'd expect.
I mean, that's the heart of it right there. This wasn't just about, trying a new coffee blend. This was a deep, fundamental look at how the very first hour of your day can completely reshape who you are before you even start work.
Okay, so first up, we have the American morning. This is the path of pure efficiency, of speed, and, well, as we're about to see, a whole lot of chaos. 2 full weeks were spent living this exact reality.
Now, I bet this timeline looks pretty familiar, right? That first alarm at 7 a.m., it's more of a gentle suggestion. And then, before your feet even hit the floor, you're instantly plugged into everyone else's demands. Emails, the news, social media. You're starting your day in a state of pure reaction.
12. Get this, that's the average number of times the phone was checked before even leaving the house. Just think about that for a second. Every single check is a little shot of stress, a jolt of somebody else's agenda hijacking your brain before your own day has even really started.
And this number says it all. Just 43 minutes from that first alarm to walking out the door. The person running this experiment didn't call it efficiency, they called it pure chaos. It's just a frantic scramble, fueled by caffeine and that constant feeling that you're already behind.
On paper, this morning has one big advantage: flexibility. In theory, you could get ready in 20 minutes if you absolutely had to. But what the experiment found was this weird paradox. Having that emergency option actually created a constant state of emergency. The whole system just fed its own chaos.
All right, now let's just shift gears into a completely different universe. For the next 2 weeks, the experiment moved to the Japanese morning, a path defined by ritual, by rhythm, and by a, frankly, radical sense of calm. The difference is immediate, right from the very first action. The alarm goes off, you get up. No snooze. That one single, decisive act sets the tone for everything else. And notice what's missing: the phone. Instead, there's water, there's tea, and there's just sitting. You're actually letting your mind wake up on its own terms.
And the breakfast couldn't be more different. Instead of grabbing a bar on the way out the door, it's a full, balanced meal. But the most important part isn't what's on the plate, it's what's not there. A screen, no phone allowed. This forces you to just be present, to actually taste your food. Your efficient brain might be screaming, but your body is definitely thanking you.
And this really captures the emotional shift. By the time 8 a.m. came around, the same time they'd be rushing out the door in the American week, the feeling wasn't about surviving a chaotic sprint. It was a feeling of having already lived a complete, nourishing morning.
Okay, so feelings are one thing, but what about the hard data? This is where this whole experiment gets really compelling. Let's take a look at the actual numbers.
Wow. I mean, just look at that. That calm, supposedly inefficient Japanese morning. It led to a 34% reduction in work errors before noon. What that means is the initial investment of slow, intentional time paid off in a huge way just a few hours later.
And this chart really explains why. The American morning, with that frantic start and blast of caffeine, created this massive energy spike, which was followed by an unavoidable crash around 10:30 a.m. But the Japanese morning, it built a lower, steadier energy level that lasted all the way to lunch. No crash at all.
And this slide gets right to the biological core of it all. When you start your day with chaos and alerts, you're throwing your body into a fight or flight state. You're stressed, you're reactive. The Japanese morning, on the other hand, fostered a rest and digest state. This allows for calm, centered responses, not panicked reactions.
So, what's the answer? Do we all have to throw away our phones and start making miso soup every day? Well, not necessarily. The most valuable lesson here actually came from finding a middle path, a hybrid routine that takes the best from both of these worlds. And here is the beautiful solution. See, it's not about choosing a side. It's about protecting a small, almost sacred window of time. The first 30 minutes are for your calm ritual, and the rest can be as efficient and pragmatic as you need it to be. It's really the perfect balance. So let's look at the practical steps. We're not talking about some 2-hour ritual here. It's just getting up decisively. It's keeping your phone away for just 30 minutes. It's sitting down for just 10 minutes to eat. And here's a small but powerful one: having your coffee after your food, not before. These are all small, totally achievable tweaks.
This really boils down all the wisdom, doesn't it? The American morning teaches us that, you know what, sometimes things have to be fast, and that's okay. But the Japanese morning teaches us that the quality of our start really determines the quality of our entire day. And you really need both of those lessons.
So what does all of this mean for you? Well, the goal here isn't to give you one perfect routine to follow. It's to empower you to start your own little experiment.
So here's a little challenge. If your mornings are total chaos, just try adding 10 minutes of sitting quietly with a cup of tea. That's it. Or if your mornings are already pretty slow, maybe try a day where you practice being a bit more adaptable. Just try one thing.
And that's the real question I want to leave you with. This isn't about a complete life overhaul. It's about one small intentional change. So, what would that one ritual be for you? Really think about it, because as this experiment shows, that one little change could end up changing everything that follows.